I was just looking through some. We got a lot of good sets going to be coming out next.
Sets?
Yeah, a lot of good sets. A lot of good fan sets.
You were just like checking the order, the mint order.
No, not that. That gets shuffled. Just some art. Just really looking at the art. Yeah,
looking at the art. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of one-of-ones that have yet to be revealed.
Yeah, we did some goofy ones for sure.
And some that are based on shows that maybe didn't even deserve it.
You think?
Well, we were talking about that one with the umbrella and the rain.
Oh, that was a New Year's run, though.
Right. And we tried to do as many New Year's runs as we possibly could.
We did.
There were some New Year's runs that we overlooked.
A lot of those early ones were just balloons. So how many balloons can you do?
But there is one that we did overlook that was in, I think, the first New Year's that they were back. This in 2009, 2010. The Steam. I think that was the year that they did Steam. And there were still seats on the floor at Madison Square Garden. And if anybody's listening from Red Light or Fish, you should put seats back on the floor at Madison Square Garden when you play there, because the demographic of your fan base is getting older. They need a place to take a rest.
You need a place to sit down?
I don't go on the floor. And there's a few reasons why I don't go. I don't love the floor.
Really?
Really. First and foremost is I look at my seat as a barrier. Not the people next to me, obviously, but the person who could potentially be behind me.
Right.
Breathing on me.
Yeah, dancing into you.
Dancing into me, bumping into me. Sure, like somebody could spill a beer from behind you with the seat still there, but like chances are it's not going to hit you. It's going to just go in your seat. And like if it's New Year's in Madison Square Garden, then your jacket's going to get hit. But like I've learned that lesson. And I bring a plastic bag with me to those shows, and I put my jacket in a plastic bag. I actually learned that from a good friend of ours.
I was just going to say, did you pick that up anywhere? The plastic bag technique?
Yeah. Dank.
Nice.
That's Dank's move.
It's patented.
It's patented move. He brings like, a very nicely factory folded garbage bag, especially when he's on the floor, gets there early, opens it up, stuffs a bunch of stuff in there that he doesn't need until after the show, including sometimes a pair of shorts.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. Dancing shorts. Because things can get hot.
To a show in the winter. I mean, it's not a horrible move.
No, you're inside.
I wear shorts 90% of the days of the year. But we do live in California. Yeah. But like I always wear shorts. If I had the choice, I would wear them every day. Ever. And at shows. But an outdoor show at night in LA is kind of chilly.
It does get a bit chilly for here.
But usually my legs aren't cold. Anyway.
So you don't like the floor? That's interesting to me.
I mean, I like the floor in certain situations. Like if I know that I'm going to have like 10 friends that are all congregating together and watching the show together on the floor, then I'm good with that. Because then like if it's one of my friends who's like breathing down my neck, then I can just like say back up a little bit, give me some space, man. Then there's also the variable of flying dreadlocks, potentially catching you on the lip, or in the eye, like that's pink eye right there. Like,
Definitely.
Like if you're getting a dreadlock whipped in your eye.
Yeah, dreadlock in the eye is definitely a pink eye situation.
I mean,
just start taking the antibiotics now.
I haven't read any peer-reviewed, studies that have stated that. That's just my, personal.
The end of those dreads can get natty sometimes.
I mean, they've been around for how long, and how many times have they been washed? They've
definitely grazed a porta potty or two along the way.
Exactly. But listen, I've had great times on the floor. I just do not like to go up to the front unless I'm invited. I don't like to go and like stake my claim in line and like get a number and like lottery.
Not fun.
I mean, some people, that's their entire life.
Totally.
That's all they do.
It's great for them.
Yeah. That's part of their experience and they enjoy it. It has, if there's a high percentage of kerfuffle anywhere at a fish show, it's usually there.
Yeah, always.
Because at every other show at a GA floor, you know, like they're rammed in there. People are rammed up against the rail, you know, because everybody's just like filling it in. Everybody wants to be close. But like the rail lizards have created a community of people, you know, who are like the rear guard, right? And I think
It's like Braveheart.
they like switch out,
They hold.
you know, where they hold, right? And like if somebody's coming through, then they're getting mauled. Not mauled, but like told what's happening and why they shouldn't be there. Which is...
Sure. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it just so happens that there's like a lot of people at fish shows who don't know the etiquette of the rail. And they're like inebriated and they're like, you know what? I want to go get some...
I'm going to go up there.
I'm going to go up there. It looks like there's so much room.
Yeah.
Like, why shouldn't there be more people up there? It's just spacious. It's the most spacious place on the floor.
You know, before a show recently, I was with some people and they had some friends that were up, you know, up there. And it was before the show, well before the show, 30 minutes before, lights on in the venue, big open space, you know, tarps down for sure. But, you know, still people trickling in for, you know, no one even really in there. And the person I was with was like, hey, let's, you know, let's like jump up there and see my buddies. Okay. I'm already stressed. I'm stressing. Okay.
It is a high stress
we were
situation.
30 minutes, 45 minutes from showtime. There was nobody in the venue. I'm stressing. We're going up. I see tarps approaching. We get up there, meet the friends, all this stuff. But I'm stressing. I'm like, my head's on a swivel because I know we are persona non grata already.
Yeah.
And
because you hadn't waited in line for like 4 hours with all the same people already. Like,
right. And we were just going to say, you know, briefly kind of connect with some folks that were up there, you know? And so I knew that it was fine, but it was stressful for some folks. There was definitely, basically everything they worry about, the things that they had been stressing about for days, you know, is like guarding their space. And there we were, you know, like their nightmare was unfolding in front of them. There was others present. Yeah. And even though obviously I knew, you know, so I even was like proactively like, hey, we're just saying hi to a couple buddies. We'll be out of here in no time. You know, your 12 by 12 blanket will remain untouched.
Yeah, but that doesn't like quell the stink eye that you're getting the entire time you're
there. One of the folks was stacking water bottles and other things that she had brought like on the corner near where we were just to like build sort of a barrier. It was a low barrier. It was like 6 inches off the ground because it was like backpacks and maybe a jacket and like a water bottle. But
just to reiterate,
she spent the time like collecting loose things and stacking them on the corner that we were, just to establish more than just a blanket barrier. And again, this is so long before the show that it shouldn't have been that stressful, but I understand it. I understand.
Setting the precedent for you, you know, like this is my space. Don't even look at it.
I could see the natty tapestry. I knew the space. It was well delineated. It was a sweet piece.
Yeah.
You know,
over the years, like I am friends with a lot of people that are up there, you know, so I don't do it, but I feel like if I was to show up there, like not at an opportune time, like let's say like not before the show, you know, if I was to show up there like midway through the first set and be like hugging a few people and like, oh, I'm gonna hang out for a song or two, that would be okay. But like that's only,
get away with that.
That's only because I know some people up there. There was one night 11 to 18 in Vegas. That was the only night of that run that I went to because my wife was 9 months pregnant and we did have a child on 11, 15, 18. So I just jumped over to Vegas for one night. It was actually a very good show. And it's funny when you're sitting in the stands and you're looking at the floor and you see how packed it is at the back. and how spacious it is up at the front. Well, that's just from what I see at MSG and almost every arena show with the GA floor. But I was on the floor the first set, and I was just like stuffed into a back corner, you know, like no space. And set break hit, and I ran into a friend who was on the rail. And I was telling him, you know, like about my experience, and he's like, "You should come up. Like, just come up for the second set. You know, we have space. I'm with so and so and so and so and this person and that person. Like, there was more than enough space for you. Come up here." So I was like, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, come on up. I got you." So I get up there, and it was actually incredible. You know, like it was great because all of a sudden I had all this space and I was dancing with all my friends, you know, I was with friends at the back of the floor, but like being at the front with nobody breathing down my neck or bumping into me, and being at the front and like having a great view of what Trey was doing with his hands was exciting. You know, it is. And I know a guy who recently experienced this for the first time last year in Mexico, and he loves to tell the story about it. Maybe we'll have him on here one day to tell us, where he's now addicted to the front, but he doesn't like to wait in line. So it's kind of like the same vibe as, you know, like you gotta know some people up there to be included. So it's not like the love and light inclusivity aspect of the fish community necessarily. It's like the anti-inclusivity aspect of the fish community, which is the rail riders. You know, it's been like that for a long time. Started by the pioneer of Antelope Greg, right?
Lope G.
Lope G. I mean, I don't know him, but I did sit next to him on a flight once. I think we were flying it was tour flight, you know? And I recognized him, and we were sitting next to each other, and, you know, he was very nice. He just, I think, goes into
beast mode.
He's just like Greg on the plane, you know? Yeah. But like when he's at the show,
Lope G at the floor.
He's Lope G on the floor, but he's not anymore.
Right.
He's not there anymore. And if he is at the shows, he's not on the rail. I'm sure he still goes to shows.
Yeah, I haven't really done too much rail. You know, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We did get kind of close at Indio, and I think the one time I went push, I remember I did do a push once, a big push. But it was Cyprus, and it was sort of like a midnight. I don't know, sometime deep. Well, obviously it wasn't midnight. It could have been like a 3 to 4 a.m. I did like a mission, like a probing, you know, kind of like sort of like a space probe. You know, I was like, I'm going to go, you know, see what's up. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And sort of zigged and zagged and kind of pierced through. And I have absolutely no recollection of how close I got. You know, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I went, you know, I have a vague recollection. It's like I went, you know, that way. I went towards the stage, and I turned around when I started, you know, feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, I got really lucky actually at Big Cypress with that type of mission. I was with a bunch of friends. We were at the way back, you know, like you can see like the stage in the distance, and we'd set up shop there, you know, before the midnight set. And I was with my cousin, and he said to me, literally, it was like 11:55. He's like, "Let's go to the front." I was like, "Okay." And we're literally like half a mile from the stage. Okay, and there's like 60,000 people between us and the stage.
Like you're out past some of even those like speaker rigs they had set up. Those big speaker
we were
poles.
way back there. You know, like
by the Ferris wheel maybe.
We had like a whole setup with like 20 people. Like,
oh wow.
You know, quilts and drinks because like security. I don't know if you remember for the midnight set was just high fives.
Yeah,
like you could bring in anything you wanted. People brought in like
fireworks,
bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
You know, like anything was allowed to be brought onto the concert grounds for the midnight set at Big Cypress.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were walking, like weaving our way through the loose crowd for the first like 10 minutes, you know, and that's when New Year's hit. Right, we were making our way through the crowd. It was just the two of us, not with our friends or anything, but like
the countdown.
The countdown, yeah. We were making our way to the front when that happened, and literally got soaked by champagne bottles being popped and sprayed everywhere. Like, we got soaked.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And then literally the first thing I saw walking through the crowd in the next 21st century was a guy who was smoking a joint that was literally the length of my arm. He'd just gotten it going, you know, like this is what I'm going to do first thing this millennium. And I was like, can I hit that? He's like, sure. And I hit it. It worked. And then we got to the point where it was literally just like shoulder to shoulder, bare, like so tight. And we're still maybe like 50 yards from the stage. And I was kind of like, all right, this is, I guess, as close as we're going to get. But then some dude, like, wearing a glow stick, like, headdress that was, like, giant, came, like, dancing through the crowd. Like, people were letting him through, and I saw... And, like, we kind of, like, moved aside and, like, the people in front of us, and he was just, like, kind of dancing through the crowd.
So he was parting the seas.
He was parting the seas, and it was like a train, like a
conga line.
It was almost like the, you know, like on the Chinese New Year, those, like, dragons that are in the parade that are, like, 20 people long, because, like, there's people underneath. So that's kind of what it was. It was like a glow stick train.
Oh, he had a train.
Yeah, with like 20 people trailing behind him, right? That were following, like, dancing through dancing through the crowd, and me and my cousin were like, let's hitch a ride. So it went right by us. We jumped on the back of it and, like, you know, danced conga style at the end of this train. Yeah. And it took us like within 20 feet of the stage, and we're like, this is our stop. We got off, stopped right there, and so, you know, they rode in on the airboat. Right. Mm-hmm. And so until that was finished, that whole track, like, right up the middle, had barriers.
Yeah.
Right. So we got off right at a barrier
at the front.
At the front.
Right where they docked it.
Right where they docked it. Like maybe 20 feet from the stage.
Sure.
Right. And we were sandwiched in there like sardines, but then we realized there was already some people inside on the other side of the barrier. So, like,
break the barrier.
We were like, let's go to the other side of the barrier. And we did.
Yeah.
And then other people followed us, and it started filling in, but it was literally like we had enough room at the front to just be like spinning. Anyway, that was like one of the first times I made it to the rail. It was Big Cypress.
Yeah, mine was not that eventful. I have no recollection. I just seemed like a good, you know when you get a spark of inspiration at about 3:30 a.m. On a night such as that. So I just was like, I'm going to go that way.
I'm gonna like a change of vibe, change of scene.
You know, actually, I don't know how far I got, but what I do vividly remember, I remember finding my way back, and we had a patch. We had a blanket patch.
Yeah,
that. By the time 7 a.m. rolled around, that blanket patch had been drilled into the muddy ground, into like a 1 foot by 1 foot ball of blanket caked in mud. So, it was a big night, 8 hours of jamming.
Soaked in champagne.
Right, exactly. So that blanket...
Tears.
Never was the same.
Of joy.
Just, like I kind of knew where we were, and there was actually a meme on social media when Amazon... came out with that Lord of the Rings TV show, and there was memes about like what, it's just like these. So in the Amazon introduction to this show, it's all these, old gnarly heady folks, right, with old timely dress on, like appearing out of a black abyss,
floating forward,
forward. Yeah. So people made all these memes. It's like, this is what it looks like trying to find your seat. That's what happened. Okay, so I went deep in trying to get close. No idea how close I got. Decided to turn around, abort mission, back the other way. Right? I could have been gone 30 minutes. I have no idea. But then just being like, okay, like I kind of know where we are, and just that. It was exactly that. It was just like dreadies and like just stuff, and trying to just
just like seeing the same thing over and over
Just
again. You can't
flashes
differentiate
of faces. You know,
Did I just pass that wolf?
I know. Was that the same
wolf?
Am I walking around in a circle? You know, and they just kind of like, you know, it kind of comes at you intense and then like vaporizes. It was very the walk back. It was almost a sense of relief when I found, you know, where the blanket.
The first lot that I was ever on was a fish festival. Like, was Lemon Wheel. That was the first show I went to, and the first thing I experienced about fish was the lot, right? Because you basically like come in at Loring Air Force Base. We've been there together, and it's 2 runways, right? Where like shakedown is like mile long, more than a mile, couple miles long, and camping is like on either side of the runways, but like shakedown is just like set up, you know, and there's like drum circles, and it's just like anything and everything you could ever imagine.
And all that concrete, like people riding unicycles, doing all sorts of weird stuff.
Exactly. A lot of devil sticks going on.
Devil stick, big devil stick time.
It was like devil stick peak
devil stick.
at Lemon Wheel.
Definitely.
You know, like guys performing.
Sure.
You know,
wow,
with their
I
like,
have not seen
crocheted
a pair of
hats.
devil sticks in a long time.
I know, right? Are they ever going to come back, you think?
Everything comes back.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Like our kids, maybe we'll...
Devil sticks.
Devil sticks, you know?
Yeah.
Like 90s style and early aught style is coming back, so devil sticks are like due.
They're due.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. So that was your first lot.
First lot. So like set the
Festy
bar
lot.
really high.
Oh,
Festy
100%.
lot is just like people are there. Some people are there just for the lot.
Yeah.
You know, just to like, you know, set up and earn, even though it's usually the end of summer tour, I guess carry them over until
Trying to blow out some, you know, excess inventory, some some heady glass,
excess inventory,
couple
and like
beads,
and like being there within 20 minutes. Every possible thing that I could have ever needed was whispered into my ear by one guy or another. You know, which was also blew my mind. I was like, wow, this is how things work around here. And a lot of open, like, nuggets. Who's got my heady nuggets? You just like call out. Same thing at Big Cypress. Like, I needed, after 2 days of no sleep, 3 days of no sleep, cough drops. And I was just running around the lot yelling, Ricola. Some guy hooked it up.
nice.
Yeah.
You really can find anything.
You can find anything on the lot if you just yell it out really loud.
See, my first few, I would have to say that my first real lot was probably Mansfield, because anything before, you know, like it would have been MSG, right? There's no lot at MSG. Obviously, Penn Station is like popping off, but like it's also there's normal humans there, you know.
Yeah, there's no lot at MSG.
And you know, Worcester Centrum, it's like all these sort of city venues. I guess, you know, but I don't have a recollection of what.
But like Worcester,
Great Woods lot was, but it was a grassy parking lot for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a you know, first major lot experience memory.
Yeah, I mean, the most vivid memory from an early lot is somebody giving me a goo ball. Where are the goo balls? No goo balls anymore. I bet you if somebody had like a kick-ass goo ball recipe, like this baklava guy, apparently they're good. Everybody's into these baklava that he's
seem to be.
but I think he's just handing them out.
Okay.
Right. But if you had if you have your kick-ass goo ball recipe from like the late 90s and you decided to like make a couple, I'm sure you could sell them on lot, you know, just for the nostalgia factor.
Is there,
With social media these days, like if you had goo balls
at
lot balls,
the do you think the lot is the same? Like, I'm trying to think of recent shows, like even going back 10 years, let's say, or let's go back to, you know, the beginning of
3.0.
Sure, that's what. Yeah, let's go back there. Like, I don't have a recollection of, you know, an Indio lot, right? I don't have a recollection
Well,
Like, are there lots?
Because you've only gone to mostly shows in Southern California, right? In 3.0? There's a lot scene going on. A lot on the East Coast.
Right.
You know? Like
Yeah.
Camden lot,
Well, I was actually going to say, for some reason, I have
Atlantic City.
Camden lot stands out in my mind. You know, but we're going back summer 2000 or whatever. You know, I remember working that. We worked that lot.
July 4th, Camden, summer 2000.
Was it 3 and 4?
I think it was 3 and 4,
Yeah. I think it was like Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or maybe I just made that up. But it was definitely 3 and 4.
And they played like Good Times, Bad Times, I think, for like the encore one of those nights, I think,
Maybe. They
Something-
definitely played Star Spangled Banner, which was cool.
to open the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other lot has been deep AF that I've been to recently?
What about this summer?
Last summer?
Last summer?
Where did I go last summer?
Did you go to like Deer Creek or something?
Oh, yeah, Deer Creek. Yeah, Deer Creek is like basically a festival.
Right. It's
You know?
it's got a big lot. It looked like it had a big lot scene.
Yeah, I was posting signs all over that lot with QR code on it for fan sets and handing out stickers. That was fun. I actually interacted with more people on that lot than I probably ever have because I was just talking to everybody. It's fun.
Well, that's part of what I was going to say is I guess you're right. Like, you know, what kind of lot is at the Forum? 0, right? But yeah, because I also don't really do the lot. You know, I'm just trying to get there with enough time to get inside without it being a hassle. Like I don't spend a lot of time posted up pre-post show. Post show,
No, because like we're in a different stage in our life. You
Sure.
know, like unless
Yeah.
we're like traveling to a show and we don't have any prior commitments like to get there,
Right.
or with like children or work, like unless it's actually like a trip, and you're like, okay, what
have
am I
nothing
going
to
what
do.
am I
I'll
going to
show
do
up
today?
at 2.
I'm gonna like eat lunch, and then like I don't know.
The lottiest lot might have been actually been Chula.
Yeah,
Because there was kind of a shakedown
no,
there.
Chula had a shakedown.
Yeah,
There were people
they did
set up.
T-shirts and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I remember like the lot at Cypress, or obviously, but just so much grilled cheese. So much veggie burritos. You remember those like old standbys? I just didn't really even. I'm just saying, like, no one's yelling out at me. Heady veggie burritos in like a slightly warm in a cooler. Like just like room temperature veggie burrito in a cooler wrapped up in tinfoil. Those days, or Magic Hat number 9s. Like those days. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there is. You again.
Lot
I haven't been to
food,
Deer Creek.
lot,
Right, so.
lot food offering has elevated for sure in the during 3.0. Now there's like full, kitchens getting set up where people
Right.
are making like, ramen and like
Okay.
burgers. I mean, everything. Vegan food. Tons of vegan food.
Like the fanciest thing in the old days was when a guy had garlic powder and he threw it on the grilled cheese.
New
Okay?
school. No. I remember
That
some
was
guy.
That was a delicacy.
Some guy was hawking what he called new school grilled cheese. Okay.
New school.
He had old school and new school. Old school was just like straight up Wonder Bread, butter, cheese. New school was Wonder Bread, butter, cheese, and Tostitos salsa, just layered inside to give it some extra.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's new school.
Yeah.
It stuck with me because he was revolutionary. Changing it up, going to the next level.
I recently had a Magic Hat number 9
Oh yeah, where?
at a restaurant where where it was. It was on the menu. It just said Magic Hat. And I
Couldn't
just
resist.
Well, I'm not really a beer guy, but I just saw it and I was like, this is calling out to me. I haven't had a Magic Hat in 25 years.
And did it live up to all of its...
Exactly the same. That unique profile.
Ugh, doesn't get me.
No, but like Magic Hat and Sierra Nevada, those were the 2 lot beers that I remember.
I like neither of them.
Totally. I agree. But the Magic Hat was the same as it ever was. I've been there and done that. I probably don't need another one for another 25 years.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, like, luckily, like, there is light beer that is being hawked in the lot. But I personally try not to drink beer at shows.
Sure.
Because if I'm drinking beer, that means I'm gonna have to pee so many times.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. That I agree.
But then again, in today's day and age,
a lot of opportunities.
a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, there's more.
I'm not too worried about that.
As we age,
yeah,
this band is giving us more opportunities to visit the restroom because they know that we're older.
Do you think that's premeditated? Do you think that they're
no,
like, you know
but
what?
It's just
that guy looks like he has to pee. Let's play shade.
It's part of the natural evolution. We're all moving at the same pace into the future.
Yeah.
And we need to pee a couple times and, take the energy down.
Because, like, I've recently been listening to a lot of shows from the year 2000, and there's very few pee songs. At least
very few.
You know, like, okay, they're going to play, like, Dirt.
Yeah, but you want to hear it.
Or Driver.
Sure.
You know? Or Bug. I guess. Like, I could go pee during, like, My Soul?
No.
No?
There was no... If you're talking about that era, you can't pee.
I know.
For 2 hours.
There's no peeing allowed.
Because you could miss something. You could, we were talking about antics, you were talking about all these things. You could miss something.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't cool at all. I wasn't prepared to miss anything. I don't remember if I had to, if I had to run out and go to the bathroom, it was like stressful. I was like, fuck.
Well,
this
there's
is the
also
worst.
Like very opportune times to go pee, right? Like right when a good song starts.
Sure,
know?
If you have an interlude, right?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Totally.
You have an interlude.
Yeah.
You can where the bathroom is. You're getting in and out in like 4 minutes.
Right.
Right. So
you're right.
You make the move. You make the executive decision like at the beginning of Down with Disease.
Yeah, like you're not going to miss. Yeah, you can
like,
hear it. You can still hear it.
You can still hear it, and like exactly how like the beginning of Down with Disease.
Right.
Is
That's what I mean.
out.
Like nothing. Like you'll be back for the heat.
For maybe even like this third verse.
Sure. I do understand that. See, that's counterintuitive right there because you wouldn't say Disease is a bathroom song.
No.
But if you have to, you're right. You catch it right at the front.
I just like recall times where like I'm just having so much fun at set break, like chit chatting with somebody,
Set
or
break
whatever, and then like the lights go down. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I didn't even go piss.
Yes.
And then first notes of Down with Disease start, and I'm like, everybody's running in the opposite direction.
Right.
You get in there, no line,
Yeah.
in and out.
Yeah.
So for you noobs out there,
Pro move.
think about that.
Very counterintuitive.
Yeah. So it's the springtime, I guess, now. And I was doing some spring cleaning. And, like fish and like rock memorabilia has always been something that I don't know if it's collected or hoarded.
Hoarded. Well, there's a fine line between the two.
And I don't know what the difference is because
You're straddling the line.
I'm definitely straddling the line. Like I have like, those giant Tupperwares full of T-shirts.
Yeah, that's the first stage of hoarding.
But like they're all cool. They're all great T-shirts. Just like some of them I bought, when I was like a teenager, and I'm like not the same size as I was when I was a teenager, But my reasoning for keeping them is like maybe one day, I'll be small again.
Okay. Yeah.
Or B, my children will be large enough
To want
to wear like
original tee.
a kick-ass T-shirt that
Yeah.
I haven't worn at that point probably for like 30 years,
Yeah. Okay.
So I was going through all my T-shirts the other day, just like trying to, figure out what can go into the archive and what's going to stay in the rotation. And that gets me into like digging into the archive and going through the things that I have. And I actually found a T-shirt that I bought at It. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I didn't really remember it either because I probably never wore it because it was brown. and like Fish Brown.
Totally.
Never,
like you don't
like that Game Hen shirt that they sold for a lot of years, like that brown.
Yeah, the dark brown.
Like, who was I? I was like,
that's the tee.
That brown T-shirt right there. That's for me.
Either that or like a dark green one, probably.
I mean, maybe that was the only one that they had available
left.
in my size left.
Sure.
Because I guess I'm never like...
You do like merch.
I like
you
merch.
You do like to go to the merch table.
But I don't like to wait in line for like a poster,
No, that's a nightmare.
That's not really my thing. Because like there's so few opportunities to be like on lot. Friends, having a good time, out in the sun, chilling, hacking a sack,
Yeah, devil sticking.
Devil sticking.
Yeah.
Like lot is part of the experience, and like standing in line,
I know,
waiting for a poster is not part of my experience, at least. But anyway, I found this T-shirt and I was like, should I keep it? It's just like so ugly.
And what does it say on it? Is it just a tower? You took a picture.
Yeah, I took a picture. It has a megaphone on it.
Show me.
Oh no, no, it's not from it. It's from the New Year's run from 2002, 2003. Hampton is where I got it.
Oh, I have no record. I don't. So you must have got that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that T-shirt.
Nobody has this T-shirt.
It's the worst T-shirt I've ever seen.
This T-shirt, if you're talking about NFTs, the rarity on this T-shirt is going to be high, right? So like one day.
That is a stupid T-shirt.
I know, it's a bad T-shirt, but I can't throw it out.
No,
can I?
The point? It's just no.
Should I sell it on eBay?
You have the containers for them. Just keep them in there.
Yes,
and worry about it later.
But one thing I did do, which was really good, was I bought basically every T-shirt at Big Cypress.
Wow, I have nothing.
I have like 5 T-shirts from Big Cypress.
All I have is the map. Do you remember that map that?
I have the map.
That's all I have.
I have like the one with like the caricatures of the 4 of them, the 4 faces
on the boat. Or no, it's just 4 faces.
4 faces, and then there's one that's like the fish traditional logo with like the Everglades kind of coloring. Wow. Like it's like an image that's like pressed in. And then I have like one that's got an orange on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know. I was looking at them the other day. I was like, wow, I really hit the lottery with these ones.
Yeah, those are keepers.
Yeah. But hopefully, one of my kids will be into Fish and the Grateful Dead, because I have a lot of Fish and Grateful Dead T-shirts that are either have been worn so many times that they're probably good for like another 20. Mm-hmm.
So they're in the archive for safety reasons.
For safety reasons, like the shoulders are kind of falling apart a little bit. Mm-hmm. So like maybe I'll bust it out where like they fit me. Like I have an incredible Grateful Dead Halloween like 89 shirt that is falling apart at the seams, but like I wear it every Halloween if I'm at a show. I also have a Tales from the Crypt from Vegas 98.
Wow.
Which is a pretty sweet tee, but that one doesn't get busted out too often either.
You have a deep tea collection.
Deep tea.
I think I might have had one blue Fish T-shirt with like the fish on it, the logo, and that was that got thrown out 25 years ago. I had I don't know why we're talking about T-shirts now that aren't Fish T-shirts, but you went to Grateful Dead. This is an all Fish all the time podcast.
Are you about to tell us you have a Goose T-shirt?
We will never talk about the Dead. We're not talking about Goose.
What?
Not talking about Widespread. None of those things. It's all Fish all the time.
Fine.
But I had one of my favorite T-shirts was the Dump from the Dampkring in Amsterdam. I don't even know how I'm saying that.
Dampkring.
Right. The Dampkring.
Mm-hmm. What happened to it?
I wore the shit out of that T-shirt. I don't know. I had it in college. For sure you've seen me in it a long time ago. It was blue, yellow writing on it.
It sounds familiar.
I just, the reason you were talking about teas, and some people are doing Gizzard Lizard Wizard tour right now, and I think
do they make good merch?
I think they're in Amsterdam. I don't know. I just know that they they push through Amsterdam.
Because if they make good merch, I might get into them.
Because you need new tees to buy.
Exactly. You know, we've talked about so much today. I don't know what we will ever talk about.
You know, we can go a lot deeper on a lot of these subjects.
On all these topics.
Yeah. Like, I even want to... Do you remember the hotel that we stayed in Hampton? Do you remember how it had that, like, snack factory in the lobby?
No.
You don't remember that? It was one of those... You know those hotels... Like, maybe it was a businessy hotel. I don't know. Some kind of hotel, but where they have, like, a continental...
Was it a Hampton Inn?
Like, it could have been, right? Like, very well might have been. But where they have that kind of continental breakfast vibe downstairs.
Yeah.
Man, that thing was epic. I remember absolutely hitting that continental situation. In and out. Like, late night. It was stocked. Muffins, Danishes, yogurts.
Like grab and go?
Grab and go. Like, that was their
Serve
vibe.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't think there was a restaurant. You know,
just like
it was
buffet
just like a little zone.
Style.
Tiny little nook. And nookins of treats.
You know, it's very hard for me to remember like specific hotels that
I just remember that. I remember eating. We raided that zone. You were there.
Like the one hotel in the Hampton Inn, you know,
Genre
that I do remember.
Milia. Yeah.
They're the best. There's two places that I would strongly recommend anybody go to and they're going to stay in one of these hotels. One is Oak Mountain in Alabama. When they play there, literally the venue is behind like a row, like right behind a row of like 7 hotels, right? Hampton Inn, Motel 6, like they're all lined up right there. So the whole time is a party. Like everybody's staying in these hotels. You don't have to drive. The venue is like right there, which is pretty cool. Then the other one was in Bend, Oregon, which I really hope Fish goes back to someday. Because that venue in Bend was amazing. But again, staying at the Hampton Inn. And it was literally like in the parking lot for the venue.
Mm.
So like, just, I could see the stage from my window.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It was like being in Mexico and having one of those premier rooms where you can watch the show from your balcony.
Your balcony.
Yeah, except Bend, Oregon and Hampton Inn.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a pro tip right there.
Yeah,
So you got to listen.
For pro
The
tips.
key is you got to listen to the whole thing. Okay?
Listen to the whole episode.
You got to get a solid 40 minutes in to get Jack's pro tips.
Well, I've dropped a few over the course of this, like go piss during the beginning of Down with Disease.
Yeah, but that was 30 minutes in, so.
Okay.
Well, let's leave it at that pro tip because, you know, we can
End on a high
go
note.
deep on
End
all
on a
these
high
subjects. All right.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it.
See you next time.
All righty. Bye.